Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and I have a card to show you how to make, and this has two different techniques on it, and I really was only going to use one technique on each card, but I just loved how this background turned out, so I used it on this card that I also used watercoloring on. So I'm going to show you how to do this today. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is a card base, and this card base is Bermuda Bay, and it is 5.5 by 4 1/4, your basic card base. Then you're going to need a piece of watercolor paper. Stampin' Up! Has watercolor paper, and we're going to stamp and emboss on it and then watercolor. So I already, to speed this up a little bit, I already went ahead and I'm using this blended bloom, and I use this in my video with the new blendabilities, and I love this stamp. So and it has a lot of area to color, so I'm using this stamp for this project too. And what I did was I stamped it with the Versamark, and I'm using the Smoky Slate Stamp and Emboss, and then use your heat tool and heat it, and you will come up with this. And what we're going to do next is a little watercolor technique, and pardon my arm there, but what you're going to do is you're going to really spray with your little mister quite a bit of water onto that, and we are going to use our ink pads, and I'm using Bermuda Bay and Calypso Coral. And what I do is I just open up my pad, you squeeze it a little bit, and it puts a little bit of ink in the inside there, and that's what I'm using. I'm not taking it off the ink pad. So we're going to use an aqua painter, and what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up a little of this ink, and you're just going to barely touch it, onto this paper. It has a lot of water on it, so it's just going to kind of spread, and it gives it such a pretty look, and it's so easy. It's not a lot of effort. You don't even have to know how to watercolor. You're just putting the ink onto the paper, and it's pretty much doing it for itself. And your aqua painter is wet, so it also helps in that. And so you're just going to continue to keep laying it down, and you have to let this totally dry before you cut it out. But you just keep continuing to do it. You don't have to stay inside the lines or anything, because you're going to cut it out. But just keep on filling it in. If you want, darker areas, you can leave it darker, or you can spread it out like that and make them thinner, make it thinner and lighter. So it's all, you're the only one who has to love it. It's just what you like, and it really gives a pretty look, that watercolor look. And then I'll kind of wipe my brush off, and I'll do the same with the Calypso Coral for the center. And I'm not going to do the whole thing because you'll sit here and watch me forever, but all you do is just grab the ink and lay it down, and it pretty much just spreads because you already have misted it with water, and you saturate it pretty good. So that's how you color that, and I've already done that, and here's what it looks like after you cut it out. And this one, see, I left a little bit darker. You can leave it like that. Just do what you like. And then I cut it out, and then I'm going to show you this this other technique that we're going to use. And I just saw this on this Canadian scrapbooking video, and I loved it when I saw it. So what I'm using for that is this Papillon Potpourri butterfly, and you take 3 colors in the same family. So I'm using Bermuda Bay and Pool Party and Soft Sky. We're going to do first the darkest color, and what they call it, I think, is pouncing. So you're not like making a perfect image, you're just loading up your stamp with ink, and it's so neat. And then you're just like, and that's it. And then you just do it, you know, different, and you can do it as many times as you want until the ink is just lighter. But I'm going to change colors. And actually what I did with this is I took a little ink on my sponge and I kind of just go around it, and it kind of blends it a little bit and brings the color out to the outside edge of that. And then I'm going to go with Pool Party next and load up your stamp with ink, and I mean, you can see how pretty it's just starting to. You could do it as much as you want, and then clean that one off, and I'll change to the Soft Sky. And again, I just put a little bit on my sponge and just kind of rub it. It just adds a little bit background color too. So the next thing I'm going to use is the Soft Sky, and do the same thing. You just and you're not hurting your stamp at all, but it does give it a little bit of extra. Even the light color, you may not be able to see it in the camera, I don't know, but see the effect that it gives it. It's just really pretty. And then again, I'm just gonna take a little bit off of here, and I couldn't find my other sponge, so I'm using a sponge that has another color, so I'm trying to stay on the same edge. I have sponges for just about every color, but I could not find mine. So that is the background there, and you're going to cut that down to 2 inches by 5.5, and I'm bringing in the base again, and then I cut a piece of the Designer Series paper, and this is actually, I think, crisp cantaloupe. So let me grab some snail, and I'm going to put that on the card. I'll line that up there. And then I cut a piece that I already did, and this piece is 2 inches, and we're going to lay that on top. But I really love this pouncing technique. I can't even remember if that's what they called it, but I believe that's what it was. And someone actually came up with that, and I think her name was Cindy, but I can't really remember. I'll have to go back and look, and I'll let you know. But I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back here. And make sure that it is totally dry before you cut it out, or it will probably tear because it's wet, and this paper is a little bit thicker, and so it kind of naturally curls up like that. If you don't want it curled, just put a little book on it while it's drying. It doesn't hurt it. I like it curled up because it gives a little bit more dimension. Then I'm going to set that on here, get another piece of Whisper White. I'm going to stamp the Calypso Coral with the Papillon Potpourri butterfly again. And I'm going to punch it out with the Elegant Butterfly Punch. I'll have to cut that a little bit shorter. And what I like to do is I just like to curl up the wings. I usually fold it in the center and then curl the wings up like that. It kind of gives it a little bit more dimension. And I'm going to grab a small piece. Where are my little scissors? There. The edge there. Stick it on the back here of the butterfly. And I debated over and over about putting it on the flower, but I liked it so much better just to blend in with those other butterflies. So I stuck it on the side like that. And it's got so much dimension. You can put your sentiment on the inside. If you want to put one down here, put one down there, but I just loved it without the sentiment on the front, and I'm going to put the sentiment on the inside. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just go to my blog at stampingwithamore.com, or you can ask me on the YouTube channel if you have any questions about how to do either, you know, technique here. But it's very simple and it looks very elegant. It almost has an Asian type look to it. But anyway, if you need any supplies for this project, go to my blog at stampingwithamore.com. You can shop right from my blog. And I hope you all have a great day. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye.